Hello, I'm OK Savage. If you've been following my channel, you'll know that I haven't posted a video in a while. The reason for this is that I was partway through making a video about donkeys, and I kind of had a roadblock with it because I was doing some research for it, and then I found some conflicting information. And to cut a long story short, I've still not made the donkey video. I really want to make the donkey video, and I've got all the info now, but I kind of need to make a script. So yeah, I've been meaning to make basically a video essay about donkeys at the beach, and I've not been able to make myself write the script for some reason. And so because of that, because that was next in my to-do list for YouTube videos, and because I'm really excited to make that video at some point, despite the fact that I can't make myself do it, I've not made any other YouTube videos. And so I thought, well, there's something wrong there. There's something going on in my brain that's blocking me. And I thought, well, what can I do about that? And the answer I came up with was, let's do some creative journaling, because that's what everyone says, right? When you've got a block in your brain, do journaling. The only issue is, despite the fact that I have a bunch of sketchbooks, notebooks, whatever you want to call them. In fact, you can see them here. These are my sketchbooks. They're all dated. They go back to like 2016, I think. 2017, something like that. Despite that, I don't actually know how you're like meant to journal. So I thought a really fun thing to do until I unblock my donkey related brain blockage would be to test out some different journaling exercises. So we're going to do that now. First, I need to actually find a journaling exercise to do. I don't know how you're meant to journal. I use my sketchbooks all the time. They're full of drawings and writings and stuff. And I don't know what's like good journaling and what's not, and if that's even a distinction that exists. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a very funky laptop. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to search for like creative journaling exercises. 30 journal prompts for creativity journaling ace. That sounds interesting. Let's see if there's anything in here. That blank page stares back at you. Your pen hovers uncertainly above the pristine surface of your journal. You feel the urge to express yourself, to pour your thoughts onto paper. But where should you begin? What should you write about? Well, I don't just want to do writing though. Like I put creative journaling because I'm like, I wanna do pictures and stuff. I guess I can just do that, can't I? What makes me feel? How am I? Oh yeah, these are just like writing prompts. Is journaling just writing? Have I been getting this wrong? What's it called when you journal but you use pictures as well? Like, my thoughts aren't always words. Sometimes they're pictures. Alright, so it looks like a lot of these are very, like, word-based. But generally when I'm trying to get my feelings out, I use pictures as well. So maybe we'll just find one of these and kind of do a bit both. I thought this would be the shortest portion of the video. We're on like, what, 8 minutes? And it's... well, we probably won't be because I'll probably edit a bunch out. Creative journaling techniques, journaling meditation. Let's have a look. Creative journaling techniques to try. There we go. Stream of consciousness writing. I don't want to do that. We'll maybe try that another day. Collage and mixed media journaling. Who says journaling has to be just words? Collage journaling lets you visually express emotions. Yeah, if stuck, try creating a vision board journal entry with pictures representing your dreams, a travel memory page with ticket stubs, a mood board based on a theme. A mood board based on a theme like self-love or motivation. You know what? I'm going to do a mood board, but I'm just going to do like a mood board of how I'm doing. So a collage mood board. I don't know what to collage with. Could print out images, I guess. I'm gonna see if I've got any like magazines or anything. You can see how neat and organised my magazine rack is. Tape and glue and scissors. Big box of pens. I guess first I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna like find some images that kind of reflect my mood. Sit on the floor to do it. I'm not above sitting on the floor. I say that, like, I actually love sitting on the floor. I sit on the floor a lot. So I'm gonna go through and see if I can find any images that kind of relate to my mood. Snake! Okay. I don't know if that relates to my mood, but I love snakes. So that's coming. I feel like it probably does in some way if I, like, identified it that quickly. I don't even know if I'll leave all this in or if this is going to be like a fast-forward time-lapse. Montage. Gonna do a montage. Oh my god, mass fish death. Okay, yeah, that's kind of like... I've been worrying a lot about climate stuff, so yeah, that can come in here. Also, these guys kind of look like medical, so I want one of these guys, because I feel like I've got a lot of medical anxiety at the moment. I love how I'm like, why am I blocked? I'm fine. And then as soon as I start finding images, I'm like, medical anxiety, snakes, mass fish death. I feel like, yeah, just this is so dystopian. That really sums up, like, I mean, the world feels pretty dystopian at the moment, doesn't it? There's a lot going on. Maybe that's why I'm struggling with the donkey thing. Maybe it's because it's like, I guess, when it comes to it, like, the history of donkey rides doesn't seem super relevant, but it doesn't feel like there's much I can say that would be helpful at the moment. Oh, I like this, the 2 + 2 = 4, because that reminds me of actually, like, good bits of my week. I feel like spending time with my kids. We actually have some fridge magnets that look exactly like that. We've been doing a lot of maths together. We've restarted lessons this week because she's home educated. So, like, we took a break from a lot of lessons over Christmas and we got back to it this week. So that's kind of relevant. There's horses. This is my donkey problem. I don't know if there's no donkeys in there, they're all horses, but you know what, they're coming out of there. You know what, I don't know why I even, like, got so many magazines out, because honestly, this one might be. Birds! Oh no, they're not birds, they're bats. They look like birds, though. I feel like birds have been a big factor of my week. Yeah. Birds. It's a weird baby. Oh, these are so pretty. They can be backgrounds, okay. I like this one. It's like an alien world. I've been trying to spend less time, you know, like less of my own time when I'm not working on responsibilities and stuff. Like less of my own time on my phone and more time appreciating the world around me. So I think that's really good for like a kind of background image. Oh, that's weird. I don't like that one. Let's put it in. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like how they're watching it like they're sat at the movies. Like, it's a really good image, like, props to the artist, props to Adobe Stock / Erica Eros / Alamy / Collage Ryan Wells. Props to all of them, because it's a really good image, but it makes me, like, viscerally uncomfortable. I really don't like it, so I think that's probably relevant. It makes me feel a thing, so I'm putting it in because there's a reason I'm feeling that thing, and that's probably something I need to inspect. I don't like how they're watching it like it's a movie. Like, they're just like, I mean, that looks like disaster, and they're watching it like, oh yeah, good show, mate. And I'm kind of like, huh, that's a very apt image at the moment with the world and everything that's happening. Just cutting that out because it's got some good words like horizon. Ooh, feet. Ooh, word brain though. Thinking about the brain. On the brain, I love that. Taking that. On the brain. I really don't like feet, they creep me out. It's toes, they look like little bald men looking up at you. I hate my own feet the most. God, I read this ages ago and now I want to reread it. I've just cut a bunch of pieces out. Okay, I kind of see the issue now with collage in that you have to cut pieces out. I like the comic. Yeah, I'd say that's some good material. I'm happy with that. Let's see if we can make something out of what we've got there. You know what? I'm going to use this piece of paper. This got left here by accident. I'm going to use it. So first, I'm going to stick this big one on because that's background, right? I can't put that over anything else because it's just going to cover it up. Also, like, from a symbolic point of view, I feel like that particular image should be background anyway. Does anyone else do this glue thing? Like, I learnt it in primary school, and it's still how I stick big sheets, where you go round all the edges and then you make a little cross. That's how we did it in primary school, and that's still how I glue a big piece of paper onto another piece of paper. Did anyone else do that? Does anyone have, like, a specific technique for gluing sheets of paper? I feel like the round the edges and the crosses, like, everyone did that at my school when I was little. Put that on there. Oh no, because it's covering up the weirdness. Hang on. Maybe. Oh, it looked nice on its side, actually. Where can I put that? It looks really cool on its side, actually. It looks even more alien and weird, which I like. I like weird stuff. When everything feels weird and magical, I don't know. I don't know why I like that so much. Maybe because, I mean, there's been times in my life where the everyday has been kind of scary. You know, just like, not badly, but, you know, when you're low income and everything and disabled and, you know, you get times in everyday life that are kind of scary. And so I'm a really big fan of, like, escapism, when things feel magical and out of this world and sort of science fiction, fantasy. I love that stuff. Especially if it's, like, a little bit scary in some kind of way, because it's sort of comforting. I love horror. Like, I love when something's really scary because it kind of helps me put my own stuff a little bit in perspective. Like, oh, hey, I've got this massive bill that's due and I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but also not being, you know, like, chased by Freddy Krueger. I say that, like, I've not even watched Nightmare on Elm Street in years. That's not, like, my go-to horror at all, but you know what I mean. Inside. I feel like I'm going to combine that inside and the brain one, because I guess the whole point of this is, like, the kind of looking inwards and everything. It's a bit meta to journal about my feelings and my feelings so that I'm feeling introspective, I guess, but that is also, like, that's what's happening. So it's meta, but it's honest, I guess. Where's my brain? Not my brain, the brain. I'm just going to glue that right there. Inside the brain. Oh, I've seen some bits from the cover that I want. Inside the brain. Where what's been on my mind is the big gap between videos, and also, like, I didn't do that much creative stuff over Christmas. I've really got back to it now, but I sort of had not just a break from work, but a break from doing creative stuff as well. So inside the brain, where innovation ends. But then just kind of thought I can do something with the word time as well, because I really feel like, oh, where innovation ends time. Oh no, I love it, actually, because it's like taking that cynical glass half empty, like, where innovation ends, and then adding the time is like taking it someplace completely new, where it's like where innovation ends time. I actually have this little postcard where it's like deadlines exist, but so do states of timeless contemplation, and I have that stuck up on one of my walls because I absolutely love the idea of being so wrapped up in creativity and so sort of focused on thoughts and what's going on in the world that is your brain that it's like time doesn't even exist. I like the idea of, you know, perceiving time differently because of your state of mind. And I like the idea that innovation could be, you know, like that creativity could be the thing that ends your sense of time. I like the snake there as well, because snakes feel very much like life to me. I don't know, when I see a snake, I'm like, oh yeah, that's life, isn't it? I think I only want one of these horses, just to symbolise my donkey problem. And I think I'm going to go for this one, because it's kind of a donkey-ish looking little horse. Donkey horse, gonna stick your donkey horse on your collage journal. Gonna stick your donkey horse to my space night sky. I really want, actually, I want one of them to be saying that. I want that to be like, why are they talking about that? I'm gonna take a blank piece of paper, I'm gonna make a speech bubble. It's not all this bad news about the climate and stuff, so much as having to sit with it. If it was like, oh, here's a bunch of problems, and it was like, oh, and here's some easy solutions that I personally could do to fix them, I'd be, that's basically life, that's all the time. But the thing that I don't like is it, you know, with a lot of big things, it's like, there's not a solution that I can personally apply in the short term. You know, obviously there's like lifestyle changes and stuff, but it's not individual consumers causing the worst of the damage. It's big businesses and everything, and that stresses me out. I kind of like that they'd be having a conversation. Maybe it's mismatched as well. One thing that's been on my mind a lot is how to communicate with people more honestly, which sounds like a weird thing to say, but like, not that I would lie to people, but you know, actually talking about stuff that matters, and instead of just, you know, like, Silk Song's really good, I've been enjoying it. You know what I mean? I want the numbers, I don't want them to be neat and tidy like this, like in the 2 + 2 = 4, because that would make sense. And this is meant to be about what's going on in my brain at the moment. And I don't often find that what's going on in my brain makes a lot of sense. I'm making it make more sense recently, but also there's a lot of things that I've still not made sense of, and I feel like that's more what's on my mind at the moment than the things that do make sense. Do we have a question mark anywhere in here? I want unexpected knock-on benefits, actually. 2 + 2 = unexpected knock-on benefits. That kind of makes sense, though, because that's like, hey, 2 + 2 = 4, like, things actually making sense. Hey, that actually has unexpected knock-on benefits. I really like that. I feel like that's a good reminder for myself, actually. Like, hey, sitting down and making sense of your thoughts. Yeah, good idea. Actually, you know, quite helpful for your life. I think this guy's just going to be in the corner as well, just like, hello, would you like some medical anxiety? It's generally meant to be positive. I feel like I'm just getting my thoughts out. I'm not concentrating on, like, trying to make them positive. I don't know if that's maybe something I should be considering, but... And then also, I want this picture of Earth. It's partly like I've been trying to spend more time appreciating the world around me, but it's partly as well like how big and small we all are has been on my mind a lot, if that makes sense. Oh no, I want it under these though. I'm gonna have to... collage is hard, did you know? Right. I want it there in the corner. Nobody puts globe in the corner. There we go. Oh no, my donkey horse has got underneath my medical anxiety man, who's actually a dead fish man. Oh no, it's proper stuck. Oh god, am I gonna get this off without ripping it? Oh, I can just... I'm just gonna fold it over. That's quite cute, actually. I like that. Medical anxiety man, with a horse on the other side of his page. Something about these words is getting me. Ill your take you. I mean, that's part of another sentence, but I think ill as well, because I was like really ill a lot last year, and I think that's probably where, you know, like the medical anxiety and everything is from. Just, I don't like being sick. And I feel like as someone with chronic illnesses and disabilities and stuff, it's something that has a big effect on my life. And then I think this, honestly, that this does express what's been going on in my brain this week quite well. But I do want to add the robot dog as well. I don't have a justification for this. I'm not sure why I want to add the robot dog so bad, but I really do. So it is clearly, you know, if I want to add the robot dog so bad, that there's something to it. I'll figure it out later. Am I meant to figure it out during the process? I don't know if I'm doing this how the person who wrote the journaling exercise idea intended, but you know, I feel like you just don't get taught this stuff. You know what I mean? This is really, really fiddly. There we go. Where does robot dog go? Where is robot dog place in this image? I think robot dog is battling it out with the snake, like machine versus nature. And you know what? I've not even used the pens barely. Okay. The robot dog has a knife. They're shanking the snake. And the snake's like, oh no! That is very on the nose. Yeah, actually, that does pretty much sum up what's been going on. Yeah, that was a really fun exercise. Yeah, so that was really fun, and I made something that looks cool, which is kind of unexpected. I didn't expect to come out of this with a cool end thing, but I actually really like that. I think it's sick. Because I had limited materials, I had to really think about how they related to stuff. Kind of reminded me of doing tarot. So, you know, when you do tarot and you look at the cards and there's different meanings assigned to them, but what a lot of, you know, really good tarot teachers will tell you is that you're kind of looking less for the textbook meaning of the card and more for the connections. Like, what is the story in the card that you see with the question that you're asking in mind? Because that's what it's about. It's about making new connections to get your brain to tell you something new. I would say that the collage feels very similar to that kind of experience. Yeah, I'd say really fun journaling exercise. Would probably do that again. Probably will do that again. I don't know if I've learned anything. I guess I have. I think I have kind of learned more about what's going in my head from having to think about what images I wanted to use and why and how they related to how I'm feeling. And I think what I've realised is that I'm actually way more stressed about world events and stuff that's out of my control than is... I'm trying to think of a good way to describe this. Because I want to say, like, my instinct is to go, then is sensible. And I'm like, well, no, I don't want to be down on myself about it. Like, of course I'm stressed about it. Everyone's stressed about it. But I think I'm more stressed about it than what's helpful. Because these are things outside of my control. And I think that's part of what's stressing me, is the things themselves, like climate change and stuff. But then also the fact that it's out of my control. And I think that is maybe what's making it difficult for me to keep on top of stuff. And maybe I need to spend more time thinking about what is in my control and what I can do and what I want to do to bring kind of more joy into my life and the lives of those around me, instead of sinking into here. I feel like that was fun and I did learn from it. I'd say out of 10 for this journaling exercise, like doing collage as a journaling exercise. And I mean, I modified the prompt. I said, like, do a mood board about my week. I'd say as an exercise, I'd give that 7 out of 10. Like, it was good and I learnt from it. But the stuff I've learnt is kind of, doesn't feel like I'm breaking new ground. It feels like I'm being reminded of stuff that I kind of already knew, but maybe had put out of my head and needed a refresher on. But it was really fun as well. And also, I've got a cool thing at the end of it, which, you know what? No, that can have an 8 out of 10, because I like the fact that at the end of it, you get a cool picture that you can look at. And then when you're looking at it, you think of new things and maybe learn even more from it. So, yeah, no, 8 out of 10. good journaling exercise. Anyway, this has been great. Thanks for sticking with me through it. If you're watching this on YouTube, I actually made this a week ago. You can see other videos in the future, closer to the time that I've actually recorded them. If you sign up for my Patreon, there's also a bunch of other cool stuff on there. Like, I just post about what I've been doing and making and thinking. It's fun. Yeah, I think that's it. Do YouTube stuff, buttons, yeah, bells, all that crap. Right, have a good one.